Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we woke up with a bit of a weird toothache, wonder what that's about, but undeterred from having a good cast as Hearttt, playing as the blue Goths, prepares to take on Margougou, playing as the red Slavs. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, do you like Age of Empires but hate all the different complicated buildings you have to build to destroy your opponent? Well, then look no further than the Goths, a single-minded civilization that pushes their players towards one building and one building alone. I am talking about the barracks. These structures start at the game working 20% faster but can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which is great because the Goths actually get an Imperial Age 10 extra population space, capping out at 210 as opposed to 200. Now, all Goth infantry also get progressively cheaper until Imperial when they're discounted by 35%, and they also get a progressive attack bonus against buildings up to +3, which makes them quite good at taking down big tanky structures like town centers. Now, the Goth barracks itself can be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goths. I'm of course talking about the Huskarl. This is overall a decent infantry unit with one important set of skills, and that set of skills is killing archers. Now, the Huskarl does come with a big attack bonus against archers and base pierce armor that makes them basically immune from most archer fire in the game. Now, to support a big hungry Goth population, their hunters are stronger and carry more, and Loom is researched in literally under a second, so Goth villagers are harder to raid and to kill from the very outset of the game. Now, the Slavs in red, played by Margougou, are a very melee-focused civilization. Their infantry, which is already quite strong, can be upgraded to do trample damage, and their unique unit is the Boyar. This is a fairly slow, super tanky, but incredibly powerful unit with an insane amount of melee and pierce armor. Think Teutonic Knight on a horse. Now, to support their melee units on the field of battle against harassment from things like ranged units, all Slavic Siege Workshop units are 15% cheaper, which is absolutely fantastic because Slavs have access to all Siege Workshop units with the exception of bombard cannons. Now, all Slavic castles can be upgraded so that 40% of their stone cost is replaced with wood, which saves players about 250, 260 stone, depending on how accurate you want to be and how much you want to round. Now, to help the Slavs with their military production, they get the supplies upgrade for free, which saves a few resources. Their farmers do work faster, and their barracks, archery ranges, stables, and siege workshops actually provide population space just like houses, which frees up a lot more room for farms earlier on in the game. Also, not just farms, more army supply, more castle, etc. So that is the matchup that we're facing today. Two potentially very powerful infantry-based civilizations. Let's take a look at where they spawn, see if anyone's at any particular advantage or disadvantage here. Hearttt, completely open to the south, completely open to the north and east. Primary gold, tucked away a little bit off campus, but look at all these big mountains and hills. Would do well to take possession of these as early as possible so that his primary gold does not come under any kind of attack. Primary stone, nice and secured in the back. So overall, not a terrible base, but very much a forward-facing open base, which might cause Hearttt a little bit of trouble. Now, Margougou, oh dear lord, completely open to the north, the northwest, the northeast, the east, the south. This is basically an open base. And unfortunately for Margougou, his primary gold very much in the forward position. Just like Heartt's right next to a huge mountain. This Arabia map actually spawns some pretty tall mountains right next to the players' bases, which is very interesting, but he needs to secure this gold, and he needs to secure it ASAP. Otherwise, Hearttt is definitely going to make an issue of this. When your opponent's gold is this exposed and this forward-facing, Margougou building a very defensive semi-wall off. This is more of a funnel, so that if Hearttt tries to enter his base, he's got to go through this town center. Would do well maybe to extend this a little bit north. In any event, I would, where's his primary stone? Nice and secure in the back. So overall, I think I would give Hearttt an advantage here just because his gold is a little bit off to the side, not super front facing. And he can actually wall off a little bit of the front of his base, whereas Margougou's base completely open, and this is problematic. Gold right in the front. In the meantime, though, while I've been talking about problems and gold and hills and my toothache, Margougou moving out with 2 militias and a scout, but 3 militias on their way south with a bunch of villagers. Hearttt, 38 seconds from feudal. These villagers are seen. I mean, I think he saw him. I didn't click his view maybe quick enough, but he must have seen those villagers. We'll see what they're for. We'll see where they're going. They've got axes in their hands. They were obviously pulled off their lumberjack duties. Hearttt a full 10 seconds behind his opponent going up to feudal. But this is a pretty big army out of Hearttt here. 3 militias who are going to be men-at-arms any second now with the upgrade. And we've got our first tower. Okay. So we've got ourselves an attempt here at a tower. We'll see if it's a rush. Like yesterday's game, we'll see if there's a commitment here to this push. For now, these guys are going to become, there they are, men-at-arms with bigger shields, stronger swords, but just as just as weak and ineffective, in my opinion. If you watch my cast, you know I'm not going to repeat for the millionth time my opinion about feudal age armies. Okay. Tower is up, and this is what I'm talking about. Immediately at the 10-minute mark of the game, Margougou has lost control of his primary gold. We'll see if he can regain control of it, but for now, Hearttt, no villagers on stone, so no more towers for him at the moment. Has he? Yeah, he's discovered his stone. He's a pretty good player, I would say, Hearttt, based on his elo. What is happening here? Hunter-gatherer is going very much off campus. Remember, the Goth hunters are actually a little bit stronger. And they carry 15 more food than usual. We'll see. This is a big investment here out of Hearttt, who plops down a archery range in an incredibly forward, aggressive position, trying to remove the defender's advantage here for Margougou. But what is this for? Usually, you know, when you see in a situation like this, the player starts tiefing resources. Hearttt has to be careful here, though. Well, not too careful. He's winning this battle handily, and he's got the high ground, but secondary gold here being mined by Margougou. Has Hearttt seen? He's seen the location, has not seen the small mining colony. Moving forward, continuing? Yes, continuing to produce archer units out of his archery range. A very, very interesting attack, very reminiscent more of other games like StarCraft, for StarCraft 2, for example, than other Age of Empire builds. A lot of construction going down. He is surrounding his opponent. Unfortunately for him, surrounding his opponent with houses. Not exactly the most aggressive, useful structure in terms of military endeavors, unless you count insane amount of population space, 20 population room, as being a military feature of houses. How many villagers does he have left here? Still has his 4 original villagers, but more and more skirmishers coming out. What are we working with here? 6 skirmishers and an archer against 5 skirmishers and 3 archers. So Margougou here with the better ranged army, I think, building a very, very last-minute counter tower here. Is he protecting these bushes? A little bit of the tip of this gold would have probably done well. Okay, blue discovers this. Maybe Margougou would have done well to maybe build the tower a little bit further to the right to protect this gold. But for now, he's been pushed off his secondary gold as well. How much gold does he have? 115 gold. Does he have a market? Can he, quote-unquote, balance his economy? Let's see. For now, nothing. For now, skirmishers are fighting skirmishers. Another house going up for blue. Man, blue has entered red's base, turned the TV on, put his feet up, lit a cigarette, taken a coffee, and is making himself at home. But of course, right as I say that, okay, I thought he was going back to his base. No, he's here to stay. No stone mining yet for red. Okay, so we'll see what this additional stone is for. And we kind of know what it's for. At least we suspect what it's for, right? I mean, I've learned a lesson of never to make huge assumptions in Age of Empires. A lot of people think they know everything about this game. Oh, I love when they carry these big gold chunks. But sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong as a caster. Let's see what these 4 not exactly optimally placed Gothic stone miners are going to do. Oh, no, okay, he's not microing him, so he's going back to the most inefficient place he can. Look at this, he lamed his primary gold. And, oh, did we just see the tip of a tap? And he's gonna lame his secondary gold? Oh, this is atrocious here for Margougou. He needs to get rid of this army ASAP, and skirmishers are not gonna do it. You know what could do it? Those Slavic farmers with their, how much is it? I think 10% faster they gather their crops. Here we go. You need some kind of melee. Making an attempt to dislodge this tower are how many red villagers? Oh my god, there's 11 red villagers here. This is a third of Margougou's civilian population desperately trying to take down this tower. Will they succeed? Hearttt is completely out of stone, so this tower is definitely going down. Fantastic hold here by Margougou, our red Slav, and continuing to push Blue's military back. But Blue, like a dog with a bone, back to mining stone. I wonder if we're going to see another tower. What is this red dot here? Oh, we missed a lion kill. You guys know how much I love random animal kills and animal attacks on this map. Just one of the many things I like about this game. But in come more ranged units for Hearttt. Army supply identical. This man-at-arms probably has served his purpose. 0 kills, has accomplished literally nothing. Might want to throw him away, do something with him. Maybe attack the mining camp. Why the hell not? But these 3 archers with 2/3 of their HP still left. Let's see what they're about. Let's see what they decide to do. In the meantime, let's take a look at the players' bases as they've disengaged a little bit. There's a lot of food here for Hearttt. Has he built the 2 requisite structures? I mean, he's got the archery range down south. Okay. And a blacksmith. Very, very aggressively placed blacksmith. He's playing the clogging game, basically clogging up his opponent's base with structure so that even when Margougou does eventually push out, if he does, I should say, oh, not paying attention, is red loses an archer to a villager. Not a good trade, but even if and when, let's say, Margougou decides to move out, he's going to have to deal with these structures, which is going to take time, especially when you're working with feudal age armies or even early castle age armies. Even knights are going to take a while to take down an 1800 HP structure. But tickling away at this forestry industry of our Gothic player, these 2 archers, but 1 skirmisher will probably save the day. Should be enough to dislodge all of these, actually. Oh, the wonders of a counter unit in this game. Is he continuing to produce? Yes, Hearttt continuing to produce skirmishers. Look at the military supply, 17-5, and he's doubling down on men-at-arms. Building 7 men-at-arms, getting forging, so they're going to have attack upgrades. Interesting. We're seeing a little bit of a shift in a meta here, potentially. A lot of moving, a lot of running around, but not a lot of attacking. For all that there's so much military, there's so far been 1 death here. 1 skirmisher who dies with his shield. Okay, red, brilliant defensive tower here. Blue, are you going to finish yours? Are your villagers under attack? No, they are not. Red's tower, instead of attacking these blue villagers, is attacking Blue's army. Circling and circling. Margougou's micro of these skirmishers, by the way, is fantastic. 9 kills on them. An absolutely brilliant use of these guys. But not to be outdone, this 1 skirmisher with his big old javelin, looks like he did manage to kill the 2 archers that were annoying and prodding and poking. Yeah, this tower is in trouble. Where's Red's army? It's circling to the south. Is this all he has? He's got so many resources. 200 wood, 400 food. Is he just trying to rush up to castle? Oh, and look at him. He tried to trap the villagers here by putting houses. I don't think these are to defend Blue's villagers. I think this was to trap Red's villagers. But they managed to sneak out just in time. The tower has fallen. The secondary gold has been lamed. Primary gold, unmineable. Secondary gold, yet again, unmineable. Margougou yet again stuck at about 100 gold. Hearttt is unrelenting. But in the midst of all of this, Margougou has managed to get his butt up to castle. And we know what that means for the Slavs. Siege is coming out. And now all of this blue infrastructure could potentially be in some serious danger. Unfortunately for Margougou, I don't think he's got the resources to pump out siege, especially not if he goes with knights. And like I said, knights are fantastic, but they will take a while. They only attack on a 10. But he's saying, forget what Cast of Empires is saying. I know that he's trying to clog me up with infrastructure. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to send my knight north. But 3 Spearmen Welcoming Committee will say, oh, I don't know how to say welcome in Goth. I unfortunately, among my very many and diverse skills is not, unfortunately, a capability to speak ancient languages. Oh, no. Oh, this knight's going to get surrounded. He's going to get so many villager kills until the spearmen arrive. Brilliant play here by Blue, trying to distract this one knight. Another knight here, but he's going to have to contend with 2 spearmen. 6 men-at-arms. A minute away from Castle Age is our Blue Goth. 88 stone for him. Lucky number for some. Unlucky number so far for Margougou, who's being poked and prodded left, right, and center. Any of these knights are coming out and taking immediate damage. And he can't afford to do this. Yeah, okay, he has a market, but he's not the Saracens. Trade is a conversion of resources right now. Must be really expensive for him. Skirmishers being taken out by the Scout Cavalry. Scout Cavalry taking on knights. Good luck with that. Pivoting north instead, getting the skirmisher so that these spearmen can come and finally do some damage. Brilliant move here by Hearttt, taking out the 1 counter unit to the knight. Or rather, taking out the counter unit to his counter unit. Oh, Sour, 1 more poke away from killing these knights. This one knight, they are very much aggressive against this one farm. Hearttt with double now the stone at 166, but he's got 3 knights. 1 knight of his own comes out. Very defensive castle here out of our red Slav. Fantastic play. Will secure this gold patch again. Knights moving forward. What the hell is this? I was wondering, why is there a spear poking out of this knight's butt? But that's, look at this. If you weren't careful, you wouldn't notice that there's a second unit trailing behind him. You'd think that this horse has a spear coming out of its butt, but no. That is just a spearman. Red's knights have been pushed back. We've got a lion. Yes. Any game I can catch the wildlife attacking is a good game by me, or for me rather. Oh, this is a big old chunk of feudal age army trying to dislodge this barracks. But Red does manage to secure this gold pile. Immediately throws 17 villagers into the mining camps here. But look at this. Oh, this might not be the best placement for a tower if he gets another upgrade on this castle. But again, lames the gold. Oh my goodness. So even though this red castle has managed to secure the gold for Margougou, he placed it behind the gold, which means anything in front of the gold. Look at this. Brilliant play out of Hearttt. Another town center going up for our red Slav, who is pumping out boyars. Take a look at their base armor. 4 melee, 2 pierce. What an incredibly tanky unit. 1 boyar, by the way, should be able to get rid of all of this. 3 boyards are going to make very quick work of this. Has Margougou managed to hold? We've got a battering ram coming out, but Gothic knights should be here to greet it. What has he built here? Let's take a look at the infrastructure that Hearttt has plopped down here. A stable, a barracks. You know, I say it a lot, but this basically proves it. If I say, you know, do you hate all the different buildings that you have to build? Go Goth, you'll only have to build barracks. Hearttt says, LOL, I'm going to build a stable, an archery range, a blacksmith, and a barracks, and 2 towers. Why is he running away with this battering ram? How much damage did it take? Pike now upgraded for our blue Goth. And now he's circling the south with these knights. I'm just absolutely impressed by Blue's laming of this gold. Absolutely impressed. Where's the tertiary gold for Red now that he's stuck at 100? And yet again, he can't break this 100 gold count. Another town center going up for our Goth. Okay location, I guess. Gets a lot of wood, a lot of space for farms, not too far away from this gold, so miners can run away to the town center if they're under attack. Where is his tertiary gold? I see a blob moving on that. Here's his tertiary. Okay. So blue has not seen any of this. Very aggressive. What the hell are you doing with your villagers? Castle busy attacking a blacksmith. Blue, look at this cheeky move. Look at this. How many of us would send 2 villagers into the shadow of a big, juicy Slavic castle? And he's trying to he's trying to defend the 3rd patch of gold. He desperately needs to defend this, otherwise it's probably GG, right? If he doesn't get this castle up, blue, although blue doesn't have enough gold yet, stone yet for another tower. You might want to repair this house. Although it looks like the melee units can get in anyway. Oh, this is so sour here for Margougou. Yeah, not surprising at all. Wow. I mean, on the back of yesterday's game with what I couldn't decide if MBL was doing a tower rush, a tower commit. Hearttt says, hold my beer. I'm going to show you how it's done. Lames the primary gold with this tower. Lames the secondary gold with this tower that has, what, 1 archer inside. And then negates a castle here. How far along is it? Oh, man, only 58, 59%. These 3 villagers going to die. What an absolute clinic. And how many good lessons, look at these arrows mid-flight, can we take away from this game? My goodness. If this Slavic castle was a little bit more forward, maybe even here. Remember this monastery, this house, they were not here when this castle was built. This gold would be secure and this game would be ongoing. And then we'd get to see, Gothic infantry against Slavic. Where are the boyars? Oh, he lost all the boyars. All the chef boyardies are gone. Fox.Margougou just could not handle this incredible surround by blue. Let's take a look at his base. What is he working with? 63 villagers, red only 43, but a little while ago that was probably in the 50s before all these villagers died. But an absolute clinic here by our blue Goth Hearttt about how to surround your opponent. And days and days and days ago, maybe even weeks ago, I had a video where I felt like I harped on it a little bit too much, but locating where your opponent's resources are so that you know where to apply pressure. And unfortunately for red, the good became the bad. The fact that these were so close, the primary gold, the secondary gold, even the tertiary gold, means that blue could easily pivot between one resource pile to the next. Was not paying attention here, attacking this blacksmith cheeky little house here. I wonder if this is just to block the gold or just it's a spotting house. In any event, doesn't really matter at this point. Blue coming in, building a whole bunch of infrastructure and laming the one precious resource that Margougou needed to continue producing melee units that would eventually be able to take down these structures. Meanwhile, look at this, a pikeman, random pikeman over here, 3 pike over here, knights look like they're huffing it. Look at the trail of dust. They've already killed 1 villager. They've got 10 kills to their name. Another villager is lying face first in her farm. The remnants of a boyar. Okay, it looks like some blue unit here, whether a pikeman or a knight. But yeah, these knights are going to pivot south. And now this wood line is in jeopardy, which basically leaves this wood line for red. Yeah, so he's also in danger from that respect. He's going to lose control of his lumberjacks. And wow, absolute fantastic use of map presence, map positioning. Not the highest kill count of games. We're looking in the low 60s. But take a look. Hearttt has killed 28 villagers to the 4 of Margougou. But kill count not always the only way to win the game. What an exciting showcase here. A masterclass out of our blue Goth. Take a look at military supply. 28 to 0. 27 pike, which were mostly spearmen. That's a lot of APM out of our blue Goth, but good amount of APM also from our red Slav. Let's take a look at economy. See, economies were fairly close. Our Slav actually mined more gold and more stone. Look at that, triple the stone of Hearttt, of of Hearttt, sorry. Hearttt with the trash resources very much ahead in the food count, but wow, our Slav Margougou has actually mined more gold. The problem for him, he's out of gold, needed it to go up, needed it to build boyars, needed it to get upgrades here, or rather not, never mind that part. But wow, primary gold gone, secondary gold gone, tertiary gold gone. Does he even know where the other gold is on the map? I mean, he's seen the piles of gold around the map, but what are you going to do? You're going to send villagers through this kill zone here? Absolutely not. Hearttt, from the beginning of the game, sending those 4 villagers, which I think were spotted. I'm not going to rewind the game 20 minutes, but I believe they were spotted by Margougou. Basically, blue on the brink in terms of stone count, kept mining just enough, didn't hoard any resources right up until the end, and just the second he had enough stone, plopped down a tower here. I think it plopped down multiple towers. One of them was destroyed, if you remember. But wow, absolutely crazy game here, Hearttt, putting on a clinic as to why and where you can apply pressure, especially on these points like gold mines. Incredibly important strategically to know where your opponent's resources are, and Hearttt proves my point from, what, a week ago or so in my other video where I said exactly this, and some people laughed, some people said you're crazy, just build army and try to swamp your opponent, which, but by the way, he did. But the purpose of that army, look, there's only 6 units inside Red's base, or 7 if you count this one pike with no kills. But the primary use of the army here was to make sure that these juicy gold mines couldn't be mined by Margougou. Hearttt taking an impressive win here, showcasing exactly why spawning location and positioning and location of resources is of critical and strategic importance. Margougou, though, putting up a pretty good damn fight here with his own castle, although I wish this castle was just a little bit forward, and then blue couldn't be able to lame this primary gold. Remember, the second he had access to it, sent 17 villagers to mine from this one gold mine. Margougou putting up a staunch defense, not enough. Hearttt taking the big W fantastically, and GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.